How do we get out?
I think you have to find an intermediary, first of all, someone who is not part of the problem. My personal preference, if I were advising the president, is to call Prime Minister Modi in India. Now, you can say, well, he was just in Israel. Well, that's fine. He has good relations with Israel. That's not a bad thing. He also has good relations with Iran. He's never been an enemy of the Iranian people. Neither are the Shiite Iranians his enemy. He knows that. And he has reasonable relations with the Chinese. They have their differences up in the mountains, in the Himalayas, the Hindu Kush, and that is a legacy of British colonialism. But my point is that he's historically leading a neutral state, and a neutral state that is growing in stature, in power, in influence, and importance. We should recognize that and welcome it, not treat it as a problem. And I think if President Trump talked to him and said, look, we need to end this. And somebody will say, well, why do you need to end it? Because if we don't, we're going to hit $300 per barrel of oil. We're going to watch 60 to 80% of the stock value crash. People are going to lose trillions in wealth. It will be a disaster. And it's not something we'll recover from. We've already seen that the Israelis hit a refinery on the outskirts of Tehran. And what did Iran do? They destroyed the refinery and its supporting infrastructure in Haifa. How does this help us? How does this help anybody? The damage that's being done is going to be semi-permanent. And by that, I mean it's going to take years to recover from this. The Qatari government has said we're shutting down. We can't store anymore. We can't drill anymore. We can't refine anymore. I mean, this is a catastrophe. We look at this and say, well, only 3% of our oil comes from the Gulf. Well, I got news for you. 50% of it goes to India. 50% goes to China. 70+% goes to Japan. Mid 60% or so, 64, 65% goes to South Korea. Now, did we call the president or the prime minister of Japan? Did we call the president of Korea and say, by the way, we're considering a war against Iran, action against the Iranians? And we want to know what you think the impact will be on your country because you are friends of ours. You are our allies. Did we do that? I don't think so. I think we are acting like the biggest bully in the schoolyard. The hell with everybody else. This is what I want. And I'm going to pound your face into the dust. I mean, we've all seen those people. They exist. I grew up with some of them, had the crap kicked out of me once or twice at recess. I know exactly what that is. Well, you can't do that in international relations for very long before people gang up against you. And we already have this thing called BRICS, and we seem to be determined to destroy that because we see BRICS. And right now it has, 10 members, something like that, and there are 50, 60 standing in line ready to join. We don't like it because they're looking at potentially gold-backed currency. What a novel idea. And if it's not gold, it'll be gold plus, maybe platinum, silver, who knows, other precious metals. And we're saying, well, this is a threat to us. It's a threat to our petrodollar. Tucker, we're killing the petrodollar right now in the Gulf. This is going to end. This very lucrative cycle where we buy oil, they take the dollars that they get from us and they reinvest it in our country in a place called the bond market. Not anymore. And that's one of the engines that drives our economy. We've thrown all caution to the wind. Think of any number of worst case scenarios and they are on the horizon. President Trump is still president of the United States, not president of Israel. And he has to think about the consequences here at home for us, for the average man, not for the billionaire class, the Epstein class, for the rest of us. I don't see that we're thinking this through. And I don't just blame him because he's had wholehearted support from everybody on the Hill. Don't believe any of those Democrats from Chuck Schumer to Slotkin, any number of them. Oh, I was always against it. Really? Well, you sure as hell aren't on record, and things are getting very bad. Eventually, I think members of his own party will desert him if he doesn't find an off-ramp. So back to your question, step number one, find a mediator, somebody that they will listen to, because no one is going to listen to us. Yep. If you're an Iranian, would you pay any attention to what we say? How many times have they been attacked in the midst of negotiations now? Twice? Why would the Russians pay any attention to us? This is a catastrophe. And if we do nothing, eventually we will wake up and discover there are some aircraft in the airspace over Iran. They're probably Russian. And they probably will put up something similar to AWACS. And if that shows up, then the message is stop. And the question is, what do you do?